brand new report from the Obama administration says nearly 3 million homes have been repossessed since 2006. Another 5 million are in danger of foreclosure. So will home prices ever get back to normal? And by the way, what is normal? HGTV host Mike Aubrey is a licensed realtor. We have seen in an S&P index that the huge housing crash that we all knew was happening in 08, 09 started to go back up. Everybody's thinking, okay, they've stabilized. They're going back down again. What's happening?
You know, I think that this is not rocket science, not rocket science at all. Things got better, and that hand in hand went with the first-time homebuyer tax credit and the move-up tax credit. I think people started to believe again a little bit.
Package, right?
Correct. I mean, it was propped up synthetically, basically. Things got much better, and then at the wake of that, we saw unemployment higher than we've seen it in a long time. A simple fact exists. When people don't have jobs or are afraid that they're not going to have jobs, they're not buying houses. We're seeing it drop again. I mean, you know, all due respect to the Case-Shiller Index, I think I could have told you this, even if I had a blindfold on, that we were going to see this coming.
So what is your feel for this? Is it going to go back down to the levels we saw earlier, a year and a half ago? Is there some point where you think, I think they'll stabilize, or is it all tied to that unemployment rate?
I don't think that it's all tied to it. I mean, you know, the first time that we saw a drop, I think that that drop was based on the very unstable nature of the real estate market itself, how propped up it had gotten. Basically, economics...
So sort of basically overinflated prices for homes and people unable to pay for them is what caused the crash to begin with.
I think economics 101, it was supply and demand. There were more people who wanted homes than there were available homes for them to buy. That then caused it to go through the roof, and what you saw was John Q. Public decided to be a real estate investor, and they started to buy properties they had no intent of ever living in, and they got caught holding the bag when we saw the crash happen. I think this time it's far more insidious. I think what we're seeing this time is external factors to the real estate market are causing it to go back down again. And, you know, I guess to address your question, what I'm concerned about is that there are so many balls in the air that are affecting this thing right now. It becomes an extremely complex equation to decide exactly how we're going to cure it or when it's going to stop. Do I think that we're at the bottom yet? Probably not. Do I know exactly where the bottom's going to be? Maybe not so much. I mean, that may be a question better to ask Secretary Geithner, because I think that's the guy right now who has the toughest job in America.
And so, and you may have already answered that, that is what stabilizes things. It's just a more stable economy. Is it that simple?
Well, I think that it's definitely a more stable economy. I think it's also what can we do for the people who should be buying houses, who do have great credit, who do have job security? How do we make them feel better? Because we want those people to go out and get loans for as cheap as they are seeing mortgage rates basically ever.
Right.
And I can assure you, we will never see rates like this again. So is it a great time to buy? It's a perfect time to buy. Why? Because however much more the market goes down, when you look at a 30-year fixed loan, what you're going to get in the gift that keeps on taking with a higher interest rate is going to more than make up for what you will lose if the market continues to go down a little more.
We did a show on July 4th about the American dream. Of course, that's always been about your little nest egg, your home. Is that gone?
I don't think so. I think the American dream is still there. You know, I think that there's a pretty good parallel between the securities market and the real estate market. My broker will tell you all day long, if you're going to look at the stock pages every day, Mike, I'm not your guy. But if you put your money with me and you let it sit there for 20 years, I can assure you I'm going to show you a great return at the end. Real estate is the same way. We have to stop seeing homes like we might see a share of Google. This is not only a place to live, not only is there emotional value to it, provided they don't get rid of the interest deduction, which I know is some concern right now, provided they don't get rid of it, home ownership will always do well. You can beat the market by owning it over a protracted period of time. And that's sort of what the American dream was about, and that's the American dream people need to get back to.